again with another one, guys. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. As you join into the stream, be sure to give me a 1 in the comments so that we can pretty much know that everything is good in terms of the audio and the sound. So what I want to talk about is the topic of, Trump doubles down on disparaging comments about Rob Reiner's death. I want to talk about that. I want to talk about it from a different perspective. It seems to be a lot of uh, public outrage of people that are going to social media and they're using the situation in regards to Rob Reiner's death to further their attack on Trump. Most of these people, I get it, what Trump said wasn't right, at least from the initial post that he made. Upon further investigation, we learned that Rob Reiner wasn't a fan of Trump. He was not a fan of Trump. And it's something a lot of people are not really paying attention to. And I think that the reason for Trump's posts, it goes deeper than what we see from the surface. Now, I made a video in response to what Trump said, and my position was it wasn't good in terms of the timing, because we all know when it came to Charlie Kirk's death, a lot of people were getting fired. A lot of people were getting removed for even speaking in a negative way about his death. So at the same time, you would think that people would be, or at least Trump would be, a little more sympathetic in regards to Rob Reiner's murder, and not including his wife was also murdered. So his comments could have been better because of the fact that it wasn't just Rob Reiner that was murdered. It was also his wife too. So I think that is what inflamed most people, is that it was so insensitive of how he said it. What I'm trying to focus on today, guys, is why don't we consider the fact that Trump and Rob Reiner did not agree? Let me put it like this, because I want to have the conversation about this issue, because it seems to be a lot of commentary all over social media of people just using this situation to further bash Trump. So I want to kind of go against the grain, give a little pushback to everybody that seems to be preoccupied with anti-Trump hate and just being negative. What exactly is everyone gaining, and what are we trying to accomplish if we're going to keep talking about what Trump had to say in regards to Rob Reiner? Because I don't see no one talking about what Rob Reiner had to say in regards to Trump. I don't hear nobody talking about it. I don't hear anybody sharing their views of the negative things that he had to say about Trump. Now, Trump doubled down on what he had to say. I'm going to play the tape and let you hear it and, kind of share my thoughts about it. So let me get into the tape and we'll talk about it in a few. So let me play it right here. This is Trump pretty much sharing his view on what people have to say in regards to what he said about Rob Reiner.
President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. It was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Blue slips, Mr. President. Leader Thune doesn't seem like he wants to get rid of blue slips. Will there be consequences for the Senate?
Well, I think they should get rid of blue slips because as a Republican president, I am unable to put anybody in office having to do with U.S. attorneys or having to do with judges. In other words, if you have one, not two, you don't need two, just one. If you have one Democrat senator, where we have a lot of them, you have one Democrat senator in a state, it is not possible to appoint, because of blue slips, a judge. It's not possible to appoint the U.S. attorney. You see that happening. And I think it's a disgrace. I think blue slips are a disgrace. They've long since, they should not be relevant anymore. This is a different world than it was 15, 20 years ago. You know, that was a gentleman and gentlewoman world. This is a little bit different, unfortunately. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, what do you want to see Congress do this week as it relates to that?
Okay. All right. So we heard what Trump had to say in regards to that situation. Let me see what people are saying in the chat. Let's see. We have some hate. Let's see what we got here. Somebody said they love Trump. Okay, cool. And peace and blessings to everybody showing up to the show. If you can be so kind, double tap the screen. That way you can give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, guys. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Let me see. We have some hate. Let's see what we got from Derek. Derek says, dude, what are you talking about? The man was murdered. What kind of idiot are you? Hi, Derek. Appreciate you stopping by. First, I would like to let you know, please check your grammar before you post a comment. It would help when we're reading your comment. Furthermore, we talked about this yesterday. So we shared our views and our thoughts in regards to what Trump had to say. And in my initial live stream, we concluded that it wasn't appropriate what Trump said in his posts. So your comment and insult accusing me of being an idiot and all of this other derogatory stuff is untrue, because I actually am in agreement with the majority of people that would conclude that his post was rather insensitive. So appreciate the hate and you stopping by, but please check that grammar. It would definitely help the show when viewers are reading your comments. Let's see what we got. What else we have here? When Obama is arrested, please remain calm. Trump just being himself. How many times have you been to jail? Never. No, I have no criminal history. I'm actually a good citizen in the United States of America. I'm a father of 4, a husband, 48 years of age, and I don't have no criminal history. What about yourself? Do you have a criminal history? How many times you've been to prison? Jail is not necessarily prison. That's like a holding place before you go to jail. I just thought I'd educate you about that, just in case you didn't know. But please share with us about your criminal history. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. What do you call Trump on the toilet? You said Donald Dump. Okay. All right. I don't really get the joke in that, but let's see what we got. Okay, Tom says, if you looked up what Rob said about Trump, you'll understand where he is coming from. Well, I looked up what Rob had to say about Trump, and he said some things that weren't nice. And my point is this, guys. We've all said things about people that aren't nice. This is not a situation of someone necessarily mocking someone. This is about Rob Reiner was in disagreement with Trump for a long time. And, to be honest, I see a lot of selective outrage going on in America right now in regards to the situation. And like I said, regardless if you disagree with me and my viewpoints, I agreed with the majority of Americans that and a lot of Republicans also agree. They gave Trump some backlash in regards to the situation. The post, in my opinion, was insensitive. It wasn't appropriate, in my opinion. At the same time, Trump pretty much explained why he doubled down on what he said. Him in his position did not agree with Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner did have some strong political views that was, against Trump. And, the best way I can explain this situation is like this. Those of you that are alive should be familiar with the fact that rapper 50 Cent released a documentary pretty much out in Diddy. Now, if you've been following the Diddy and 50 Cent feud, you would know that these particular men don't agree. And there's been a lot of words that have been shared. I don't see no one claiming that 50 Cent is wrong for releasing a documentary when a man is already in prison serving time. A man has already been convicted. He's serving time. He's already down. So it's like, what are we doing? What's the point of adding more fuel to the fire? So when you look at 50 Cent and Diddy, we can see that there's an ongoing disagreement. Well, when I look at Trump and I look at the situation with Rob Reiner, there is clearly a disagreement. And they probably never liked each other. And yes, like I said, his untimely death and murder is bad. And the fact that Trump said what he said within that timing, again, in my opinion, it's wrong in my opinion. At the same time, I'm not Trump, and I'm not the one feuding with Rob Reiner. You have to look at this thing from a point of view of you having an issue with someone personally. The public don't understand your feud. All the public see is the back and the forth. That's all they see. They don't know what that other person's comments has done to your life, your political career, and how people see you in the public eye. So a lot of times when we have issues with other people, it's our business. So Trump saying what he said, even though I may disagree with the timing, in his eyes, he feel he didn't do anything wrong. And whether he did it in this timing or a month from now, people will still have something negative to say because they don't like Trump. See, here's the thing, guys. When people don't like you, right? They look for every little detail to find the fault. So this is something new, and people want something to hate Trump on. So of course they're going to have a ball with this one. I see a lot of videos being produced all over social media. Everyone is acting like they care, and they're dragging the situation on. You know what I mean? I get it. When he said what he said from the beginning, I can understand commentators speaking on the issue. Okay, all right. So all right, it's time to move on now. But I'm seeing people making more videos, and it's like they keep dragging the situation. And I'm like, okay, what do you want us all to do? What's the end goal? Do anybody have a plan? Like, what's the end goal when it comes to what Trump said? Should we put him on trial for a crime? Should we, impeach him? What should we do? And see, this is my point. People just looking for something to talk about. And again, like I said, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with what he said. At the same time, I don't know Rob Reiner personally, and I don't know all his political views. And based on some research, he did say some things about Trump that was not right. Did anybody do the research? Did anybody actually do their due diligence to find out why Trump said what he said? And again, I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just having the conversation. I want to know, did people actually go do their due diligence to look up what Rob Reiner had to say in regards to Trump over the years? Did anybody do that? So all I'm trying to say is, look, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, because I know there's going to be some disagreements, name calling, hate, and all that other stuff. What I want people to think about is this is a personal issue between him and Rob Reiner, which has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with us, guys. It have to do with Trump and Rob Reiner. And based on what Trump feel inside, he felt what he said was appropriate. That's Trump being Trump, as many people would say. That doesn't excuse your opinions and your thoughts about him in regards to it being insensitive. I feel it was insensitive too. So we can all agree to disagree. You understand? I agree that what Trump initially posts was insensitive. And it's crazy because even though I have that position, I'm gonna still be hated regardless. They're gonna still hate me because of my opinion. So it's like no matter what you say, you lose. No matter what you say, you can't please everybody. And it's just frustrating. Somebody said, let me see, James. James says, who cares what he said? He is dead. He is mocking him. Oh, he is mocking him. So disrespectful. Look, uh, man, again, when Charlie Kirk died, a lot of people was facing being fired, removed from their work because of negative things that they said. What people said in regards to Charlie Kirk's death was hate. I think we forgot about that. People were saying they're happy he's dead. People were literally uttering words that were untrue. They were saying it was good for him that he was murdered. In Trump's initial post, he did not say he was happy that Rob Reiner died. He did not say anything in regards to how people were attacking Charlie Kirk. It was a whole different situation. And I know some people will use that as an example to say, well, if other people were punished and lost their jobs and had all of these issues done to them, why Trump is getting a pass. And in a way, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. At the same time, we got to look at, did Trump come out publicly and say, hey, I am happy that Rob Reiner is dead? No, he did not say that. He shared some rather colorful words about how he felt. But again, that's his personal opinion of that man. Yes, he was murdered. And what I'm more concerned with is the fact that there's no focus on the wife. Did the wife ever say anything disparaging about Trump? I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. But I think that under the circumstance, if I were Trump, I would have never said anything. I would have just leave it alone because I know it'll be a touchy topic to even share my opinion, even if I had an ongoing disagreement with that person. Now, I'm going to play what Trump said again and try to break it down. So let me turn this music off real fast. Um, and again, if you're new to the show, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. That would definitely help. Let's see what we got here. Da, 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 da. All right. You really should only worry about the things you can control. Well, you should take the same advice. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I mean, if you're watching a show and you're interested in the topic, why tell me you really should only worry about the things you can control? I'm trying to figure that one out. I don't know what's your angle, but you know, everybody should take that advice. Worry about what they can control. But let me get back to the commentary here. Let's listen to what Trump had to say so I can share my thoughts about the situation. So let's get into it.
A number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned.
Now, he said that he was a deranged person when it comes to how Trump is concerned. Now, this is Trump's opinion of Rob Reiner.
He knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russian.
At Blake, I think that you should calm yourself down. For some reason, you didn't take your antidepressants, you didn't take your medication. This is a channel that is called Ringo TV Reactions. You just walked into a live stream. We actually played this entire tape once before. You weren't in the classroom. So it's very inappropriate and rude of you to actually come into a live stream and then tell me pretty much to play, or why didn't you play the entire tape when we're playing the tape. So that being said, let me get back to the commentary. I'm going to rewind it back for all of the folks that was on the short bus so that you can all learn again. Let's get back to the commentary.
President, a number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it.
Now think about what Trump said. He said that Rob Reiner was behind the whole called hoax that was out there. So when you think about that, you think about what that does for Trump's image and his work that he's doing. It's designed to disparage what the Trump administration is up to. So people are forgetting these things. All I'm saying is, if we're going to hold Trump accountable, can we hold the words of Rob Reiner accountable the same way? We have to apply the same energy, guys. Like, we can't be one-sided. I understand some of you are Trump haters. You hate Trump. I get that. You know, you're a Trump hater. You just want something to talk about. You want to jump on the bandwagon. At the same time, in the court of public opinion, we have to be fair and balanced. We have to really look at what Trump is saying so we can understand where he's coming from. You know, rather than just throwing the baby out with the bathwater, let's try to find out what is going on in Trump's mind that would provoke him to say what he said. That's what I'm trying to do. So let's get back to the commentary.
I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all.
He wasn't a fan of Rob Reiner at all. So this is a personal situation that has nothing to do with me. You know, if you are beefing with someone, if you have a disagreement with someone and you and that person don't see eye to eye, no matter how many of your coworkers may be in the workplace, they're oblivious to what's going on between the two of you. So the tension that's in the workplace is between you and that individual. It has nothing to do with all of us. See, a lot of us, we're looking at it from the outside looking in. And like I said, I agree with the majority of the people that the post that Trump made initially, in my opinion, even though I'm sharing my commentary, I believe that it was inappropriate. And it's crazy that even though I agree that it was inappropriate, it's not enough for most viewers. They still want to see blood. They still want to see something happen to Trump. They want to come out with the pitchforks and the torches and you know, take him down or something. At the same time, we got to look at context. What happened between him and Rob Reiner that made him react in the way he did?
Any way, shape, or form. I thought it was very bad for our country. Yeah.
Blue slips, Mr. President. Leader Thune doesn't seem like he wants to get rid of blue slips. Will there be consequences for the Senate?
Well, I think they should get rid of blue slips because as a Republican president, I am unable to put anybody in office having to do with U.S. attorneys or having to do with judges. In other words, if you have one, not two, you don't need two, just one. If you have one Democrat senator, where we have a lot of them, you have one Democrat senator in a state, it is not possible to appoint, because of blue slips, a judge. It's not possible to appoint the U.S. attorney. You see that happening.
You know, loose lips is a problem. And that's the issue in today's day, a lot of loose lips. But moving on, let me see what somebody said here. Let me see. Somebody said, I didn't care for what Trump said, but I'm also not offended. Well, congratulations, because you are in the group of people that actually are you know, using your brain at this point, because a lot of Americans seem to be having this selective outrage right now. And again, if you're a Trump hater, just say you're a Trump hater. And I'm not talking to the person who made the comment. I'm just speaking in general. If you're a Trump hater, just be a Trump hater and do what you do. But don't use the situation with Rob Reiner as a way to continue your movement of anti-Trumpism, because it's getting annoying now. I'm seeing a lot of influencers who are taking to social media and they just keep making videos about the same thing. And I'm like, it's almost like they're trying to get the viewer to just be angry all day. Like, how do we move forward? How do we move forward? Because Trump is going to be Trump regardless. Again, when we compare how people were condemning Charlie Kirk when he passed and was assassinated, there was a lot of vile comments. People were saying vicious, ugly things, worse than what Trump put here. If you really look at the contrast of Trump's comments, even though I don't agree with it, in comparison to what people were saying about Charlie Kirk, no, it's not the same thing. And I see a lot of commentators that are using Charlie Kirk's situation and they're comparing it with Trump. And they're saying, well, hey, since everybody else was losing their jobs and getting fired and condemned and banned and, removed from monetization on social media because of their Charlie Kirk rhetoric, why is Trump getting a pass? And my answer to that is Trump's comments, although insensitive based on the timing, is nowhere near what people were saying on social media about Charlie Kirk. And I defended Charlie Kirk when he was assassinated. A lot of social media influencers was calling him racist, and I was condemned by the black community. They called me a sellout, a raccoon, a Sambo, all sorts of negative things because I stood up for that man. He was not a racist. He was outspoken, yes, but he spoke on issues that a lot of people just didn't want to tackle. They just didn't want to tackle these issues out of fear. And now, in today's day, it seems as if though people are more focused on trying their best to condemn Trump. And like I said, um, whether Trump said something good or bad, it's going to be looked upon as negative either way because in a world where there are so many anti-Trump haters, I mean, anything that man does is going to be looked upon through a magnifying glass as bad. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out when are people going to get over this and move on and find a new topic to actually talk about because Rob Reiner is gone at this point. He was murdered by his son. And what people should be focused on is the fact that his son allegedly, because they're still going through the process, his son murdered him and the mom. And I don't hear nobody really talking about that. They're focused on Trump. It's like Trump, 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 and that's all they're focusing on. And here's the hypocrisy with a lot of this. I'm seeing a lot of commentators that are against, let's say, for example, gay marriage. Right? You have a lot of commentators they're against gay marriage. Let me see if I can find this information real quick for you. Let me see. So there's some information in regards to Reiner. It says Reiner, a longtime Democratic activist, donor, and fundraiser, played a crucial role in the legalization of same sex marriage in California. So, in regards to that, right, I see a lot of commentators that are against same sex marriage. They're against it 100%. At the same time, they're defending Rob Reiner. So I want to know to those commentators, in case you're listening, maybe you want to respond to my video. Do you support Rob Reiner's, political affiliations in regards to the legalization of same-sex marriage in California? Do you support that? Because I noticed that a lot of you that are speaking, you don't support that, but at the same time, you're acting like you care about Rob Reiner. I don't think this is about people caring about Rob Reiner. I think a lot of influencers are just using the Rob Reiner situation to further their political agenda. It's sort of like taking advantage of the opportunity. The opportunity is there. Okay, let's use that to criticize Trump. Meaning, they don't really even care about the fact that Rob Reiner and his wife was murdered. They're more concerned with the fact that we have an active situation that we can use against Trump. I mean, just look at the headlines all over the tabloids, the news. Everybody's talking about it. You had I think Jimmy Kimmel, he talked about it. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's having a field day with it. It's this week's news. And the goal that I'm trying to figure out is what is everyone trying to accomplish to further cause more people to hate Trump? And that's what we're doing. So, what's the solution? What exactly is the solution? Because it's just making more people angry. So how many times have you said disparaging things about people that you don't agree with? How many times have you said things that uh, was at the wrong timing? I'm sure we all said that. And again, that's not making an excuse for Trump, because I agree that what he said was in the wrong timing. But how long are we going to ride this bandwagon of hate, the haterade train? How long are we going to keep pushing the hate? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Let me see. Um, it don't matter because in scripture we all talked about in some form. I'm out. Well, I don't know what you bringing up scripture for. Scripture have nothing to do with the conversation. We're talking about the disparaging comments of Trump and how he doubles down on what he said. Topic is not about the Bible. Topic is not about no scriptures. Topic is about what we all witnessed and heard, and we're trying to come to the understanding of why Americans are just keep they're focused on Trump as if though he's the only person that ever had criticism for someone, as if though he's not, as if though he don't have the right in America. Again, we're still in America, right? He didn't say, "Oh, I'm happy that Rob Reiner is dead." He didn't say that. He did not do that, guys. You can say it looked like he mocked him. It looked like he said some disparaging things. However you translate what he said, in his mind, he think he said what is right. And again, did anybody go and look at what Rob Reiner said about Trump? Let me see if I can play this tape for you. And again, guys, as you come into the building, be sure to double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Let me get this tape set up here. This is another video I want to look at. This is about 3 minutes and 29 seconds long. We're going to take a look at that and find out what this has to say. So let's check this out.
The Reiner's deaths prompting an outpouring of condolences from across Hollywood and the world of politics. Reiner was a longtime liberal activist and Democratic fundraiser and had been a vocal critic of Donald Trump since his first run for president. Mr. Reiner appeared on this program during the 2016 Democratic National Convention, where he spoke about then candidate Donald Trump.
We've seen the George Wallaces and people like that, but we've never seen a major party candidate that is this ill-prepared and this divisive and this angry and this hateful. We have two candidates that couldn't be more diametrically opposed in terms of inclusiveness and allowing people together and healing racial divides than Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Today, President Trump reacted to Reiner's death with a disparaging post on social media that has generated bipartisan backlash. We're choosing not to show the full post because it contains allegations not corroborated by authorities. But
it's interesting how this particular media outlet said they're not willing to show the posts because they're making it seem like if Trump committed a crime, like it doesn't make no sense. Like he has a right in America to say and speak on how he feel about Rob Reiner. And I think that we have blown this whole thing out of proportion. And everybody's using it as a moment to just spread more hate and more division. And it's really toxic, to say the least. But let's get back into it.
the president, in it, he says that he suggests the deaths were related to Reiner's political activism because Mr. Reiner had, quote, Trump derangement syndrome, and that, quote, he was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump. Again, police have not released any motive for the killing. We hinted about the president's post today, and he was asked about it in that exchange with reporters not long ago. Let's listen to what the president had to say when asked about this post.
I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. You know, it was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country.
Now, think about what Trump said. He said he thought that he was very bad for our country. Now, Trump is not focused on the stuff that most of us may be thinking. He's focusing on Rob Reiner being bad for our country in the sense of the things that Rob Reiner stood for. So that is what most people are not focused on. They're not looking at the bigger picture. Rob Reiner spoke negative of Trump, and everybody's attacking Trump because of what he had to say about Rob Reiner. Whether Rob Reiner was murdered or not, it doesn't matter. We got to look at this thing right down the middle, because I believe a lot of you are having selective outrage where you figure, well, because the person is dead, that means, okay, I can't share my opinion. Let me wait to when he, been dead for 10 years, then I'll share my opinion. It's bad either way, right? Does that make sense? So it doesn't make any sense why people are having this newfound outrage about someone they don't even know when all he shared was his opinion. And like I said, when I initially saw Trump's post, like everyone else, we looked at it as, oh, it's inappropriate, it's not right, and I get it. At the same time, when I went and did my research and I started to look at how Rob Reiner felt about Trump, I said, oh, that is why Trump said what he said. And now I understand. Is it in the right timing? That's neither here nor there. The issue is there's a personal issue between Trump and Reiner that don't include us. We're just on the outside looking in. And I think a lot of people are missing those points. And again, you have to remove the hate that you have for Trump. You have to be fair and balanced. See, on Ringo TV Reactions, we're fair and balanced, and we actually focus on sharing our thoughts about the whole situation. I mean, if you watch my previous live stream where we talked about this issue, we shared what Trump said, and we deemed it inappropriate due to the timing because they were both murdered by their son. At the same time, you don't think Trump knows this? You don't think that Trump know that him saying these things right after this man and his wife was murdered, that he's going to get some sort of backlash? You don't think he know that? I don't think he cares. I don't think he really cares about our opinion of him, because most of us are ignoring what was said about him. And at no point did he say, hey, I'm happy he's dead. Good for him. He never said that. We're interpreting it as if though that's what he said. He never said that. And again, when we look at the people who disparaged and mocked Charlie Kirk's death, they were online saying they are happy that that man is dead. They're saying they were glad he was assassinated. That's cruel. There's a big difference with that, man. Let me see. He said he cares about only himself. I wonder if he thinks he's white. Typical comments from ninjas. Let me see. I don't know what it is about black folk. Why anytime a black man is speaking about issues, you always have YNs that always want to accuse somebody of being white. Like, I don't get this. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Let's see what else we got. Da, 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 da. Is it black makeup he's wearing? That man felt some type of way about Trump, but Trump can't feel any type of way about him. He spewed so much hate towards Trump. And see, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that most of the viewers that are looking at this live stream, I don't think none of you did your research. I don't think none of you looked up interviews and things that Rob Reiner had to say. I'm going to have to go do reaction videos about all of this stuff to set the record straight. Rob Reiner was anti-Trump. He was. He was anti-Trump. He didn't like Trump. And everybody's ignoring this. And I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair because it's almost like Rob Reiner had his opportunity to say all the negative things he had to say about Trump, but Trump is not allowed to give any criticism. That's anti-American if you ask me. Let me see. Um, and if you're a troll and you're just posting dumb comments, I won't even read your comments because you're not really adding any value to the live stream. You're just here being disruptive and annoying. But let me get back to the video. And again, guys, double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get back into this video and hear some more about what they're saying.
So the question that was posed to the president was, do you stand by that post? And I guess we can discern from his response that yes, he does. We've heard so much from the president over the years, harsh language, coarse language, and yet this seemed a bit surprising in the sense that there wasn't an obvious reason why the president would need to weigh in on this matter.
Yeah, that's the thing. The president has a choice. He can either say something or not. And he chose to say something in this. The president of the United States doesn't have a lot to say about a murder issue in Los Angeles with someone who's famous, but it's a repeat thing of the president who values loyalty.
I got to stop it there to kind of share some information that I think a lot of people would like to say, but they're afraid to say it. I'm going to be honest with you. If you have a son, hypothetically speaking, and your son was molested by a 40-year-old man, brutally sexually assaulted, and that man fled the scene, jumped into his car. There was a high-speed police chase, and the man crashed, and his car was engulfed in flames, and he was burned alive. How many of you would have nice things to say about him after his death? I just want to know. How many of you would have nice things to say? Would you feel bad for his family? Would you feel bad for his kids? I don't think you would feel bad for him at all. I think you wouldn't even care because you don't like him and you don't care for him. And I have to make my point a little more extreme because what I'm trying to get to the point of is when you don't agree with a person and you have no feelings for that person, you don't really care if they're dead. I'm just being honest with you. And most of you know this to be true because if you don't like a person and they pass on, who cares? I'm not losing any sleep. Do you understand my point? Because that person and you don't agree. So it's almost as if though everyone wants Trump to show emotion for someone that he don't care for. That's what I'm trying to bring home. We who were born in the 70s, was raised in the 80s, and we, watched shows, with Rob Reiner. Yeah, we appreciate his work. We know of him from television. That's all we know. But he was also into politics. And Trump didn't agree with him. And he didn't agree with Trump. And trust and believe, if Trump, God forbid, passed away before Rob Reiner, I don't think Rob Reiner would lose sleep. Matter of fact, I believe he would have something to say. And what he may say would be inappropriate to many people too. And see, that's the part that I don't think a lot of people are getting. And it's not really about expressing any sort of negative remarks when somebody died, because that's wrong. We know that's wrong. What I'm saying is, for most of you that are viewing, do you even care about people you don't like if they passed away? Are you going to be shedding tears and crying and going to their funeral? I don't think you would be doing that. So why is everybody so angry as if though Trump was supposed to be extremely emotional over someone he did not even agree with? from a political standpoint and even a personal standpoint, he didn't agree with this guy. It's tragic that they were murdered, but Trump didn't do it. Remember, Trump is not the one who did the crime. It was Rob Reiner's son, Nick. He's the one who committed the crime. And nobody seemed to be talking about that. You know, if I have a disagreement with somebody and I don't like them, and they're saying all these hateful things about me, and they're disrespecting my family, they're disrespecting my work, my livelihood, and they're just trying to destroy my reputation. If something happened to them, I don't care. I'm just being honest, because I don't agree with that person. I'm not going to be sending flowers, and I'm not doing none of that stuff, because that person was trying their best to destroy me. I'm just being honest. And I feel that a lot of you know this to be true, and you're ignoring this fact. Trump and Reiner did not agree with one another. I suggest that everybody that's viewing, do your due diligence to research interviews where Rob is speaking in a negative way about Trump. I suggest you do that. And, so that you can get both sides of the story. Because it seems like everybody's focusing on Trump's comments and they're not talking about what Rob said. That's the problem that I see. You know, you said no Democrat is ever respectful in the same situation. They didn't hold off Charlie. Well, when it came to Charlie, again, guys, whether you disagree with Trump or not, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, it was worse. People were saying some very mean, ugly things about Charlie Kirk. And I didn't like what they were saying. And they were disrespecting his wife. And it was really, really bad. Let me see what somebody says. Somebody said, defending a racist predator is crazy. Okay. Who's the predator? Because this is what I mean about why people like yourself, and I'm talking to the person who made that comment, you're saying that I'm defending a racist predator is crazy. If you believe that Trump is a predator, why he's not convicted and charged with being a predator? Where are the victims? See, this is what I mean about people spreading lies and disparaging things about other people, and then when we give an opinion about you, you cry wolf. So it's okay for you to say these things about Trump. It's okay for you to spread lies, slander. And this is what I don't like about social media. The viewer, the listeners, they get to disparage people's names, slander people's names, spread lies, misinformation, disinformation. And then when you speak your opinion, you're the bad guy. It's crazy. You said, I like Rob Reiner. He played Meathead on All in the Family show. I believe that we all do. I believe that we all agree. We like Rob Reiner, the actor, the director. We can all agree. I was a child when he was doing this in the 70s. I was a child. I was born in 77. So we can all agree that his work, he's an icon, a legend in the game. And a lot of sitcom shows were knockoffs and born out of All in the Family. If you really go do your research, a lot of sitcom shows were born after that particular show. So we're not condemning his talent, Rob's talent, and his contributions to society. He was a very talented guy. He gave us a lot of memories as children growing up, and we can all agree on that. But moving that to the side, when we look at his situation with Trump, it's a whole different ball game. You know, it's a different ball game, and I think that a lot of people are ignoring that. You said he was not convicted of SA. Yeah, he was not convicted, but this is the problem. People keep posting lies on social media about people, and I think that's bad. That's very bad. We have to learn how to have conversations, guys, and be factual with our posts, because sooner or later, guys, I'm gonna give you the 411 now. It's already happening. In the future, on social media, you mark my words, on social media, the comments you post will be used against you. And with all of these AI algorithms and everything, when you say stuff like Trump is a this and he's a predator and he's all that stuff is going to get documented, marked IP address and everything, and you're going to be held accountable for that. A lot of times when you come to these platforms, you post comments, you figure, well, you could just say what you want and get away with it. It's not going to be like that in the future. There is going to be a lot of crackdowns on people that just post disparaging, negative, misinformation to destroy someone's reputation. You got to be very careful with that. If Trump or anyone wasn't convicted of any sort of SA or being a predator, stop saying those things on social media. It's not right. Um, be factual with your commentary, because even myself as a content creator on social media, I'm held accountable for the things that I say. That is why I have to go by the letter of the law. I have to break things down and share my commentary with actual factual truth. I can't deviate from that and say, well, Trump is this or Rob Reiner is that. I can't do that because there are people who will fact check me. And when they fact check me, they're gonna be like, hold up, wait a minute, you said this, that's not true, you lied. Now I'm looking bad. Now the viewer won't trust my opinion or my thoughts and my commentary, and that ruins my brand. So I have to be honest. I would really appreciate you uh not posting lies, because it just generates more arguments. If you feel Trump is a predator, you would have to prove that, not just post these comments. It's not right. Um, Let me see. You said, yeah, it's a part of the social media credit score. Mm, but you lie to the people every day. I don't know what you mean by lie to the people every day. This is what I mean, guys, when you have people like this that just lie and they come on social media and just say whatever. I mean, you don't even know me from Adam, but you're going to say, oh, you lie every day to the people. Well, why are you watching me for? If you believe that I lie to the people every day, that mean that you watch me every day, which mean you like watching a liar. Is that what you're saying? I just want to know. Let's have the conversation, because this is what you said. And this is why a lot of times we can't have decent conversations with viewers. I like to interact with my viewers because a lot of you, this is probably your first time viewing my show, and it's a great opportunity to get to know who I am, and perhaps you may want to subscribe to the channel and check out my work. At the same time, I like to engage with the viewers. I just don't like when people don't know how to communicate and always trolling and posting insults, and it's very draining, and it kind of makes it bad for everyone. And I'm really trying to be a better content creator in terms of how I communicate with the people, because even though we're on social media, I understand that if I was in front of all of you in person, I have to be very respectful of everyone. And I would have to show a certain level of class and sportsmanship, if you want to use that term. It's just something that we fail to do on social media. When we're in front of people, we do our best to be respectful. And it seems like when we come onto social media, people just act uh, childish. They throw insults, and they would not do these things in person. You would not do these type of things, and it just makes uh, shows not as I guess informative, entertaining, and it just makes people just leave because it's just too much drama. I'm trying to get away from all of that nonsense and focus on more engaging content that viewers can actually come in and talk and share their thoughts without the comment section being filled with nothing but trolls. Um, you said it's pretty damn sad that you stupid people can't wake up. You insult viewers. I've been on here before. You come at people and attack their integrity. Do you see what I mean, ladies and gentlemen? Now, let's examine this person's comment. This person says that you insult viewers. I've been on here before. you come at people and attack their integrity. Now, this is the question you have to think about. How could I, Ringo TV, insult viewers? That would be counterproductive to my work. Don't you think so? Viewers are what make my platform grow. So if I'm communicating with a viewer and you feel it's an attack, it's not necessarily an attack. It is actually me defending myself against criticism that is inappropriate. For example, if you come on my platform and you call me the N word, I'm going to respond to that in an appropriate manner. You may not like it, but I'm going to respond to you. If you're saying negative things in my chat room and it's disrupting the show, my job is to address that. That's not an attack. That's me regulating the show, regulating the commentary of various people in my live chat. If people don't understand the laws, then there will always be a problem. For every action, there's a reaction. So if you dish out negativity, naturally you're going to get a response and you may not like it. So rather than uh, rage baiting commentators, how about just be a civilized adult and there won't be no problems. Let me see. Okay. He doesn't cater to soft feelings. If we don't agree with your political view, you attack. You just keep talking about attack. If you don't agree with something, you can leave. It's just that simple. I'm here talking about the situation with Trump and Rob Reiner. You're talking about if you don't agree with my political views. I don't ask anyone to agree with me. You are American. You have a right to agree with what you want to agree with. We're all adults. The last time I checked, I'm an adult. I'm 48. I don't know how old most of you are, but I'm a grown man. I don't ask anyone to agree with my political views. I never do that. This is America. You're free to agree with what you want to agree with. You're full of lies and self-contradictions. Good boy. This is what I mean, guys. It's like you have these immature people that show up to the show. And see, this is what I mean. They're immature. And when I give a rebuttal due to their immature comments, they call that you're attacking the people's integrity. But they have no integrity. I mean, think of the things that they post. You can't get offended when you post immature comments and then I respond with intelligence to counteract what you said. It makes no sense. It's just crazy. But anyway, guys, if you're new to the platform, consider subscribing to the channel. Double tap the screen to give it a like if you like my commentary. Again, Trump doubles down on what he said, which means he's not taking anything back. He's not apologizing to no one. And again, in my first initial video, I agree with the majority of the people that I felt that his comments about Rob Reiner were inappropriate and wrong in its timing. At the same time, I went and did my research and I looked up some interviews, which I'm going to review, and some posts of Rob Reiner saying some rather negative things about Trump. And I understand why Trump said what he said. Wrong timing, in my opinion. At the same time, if I don't agree with somebody, I really don't care. I'm just being honest with you. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. And if you were in his shoes, I think you would say the same thing. Because we can interpret his posts as if though he said this or he was saying that or he's happy that the man is gone. You could interpret that way, but under the law, did he say that? No, he did not. But we can assume he said this or he's, how some people would add on and say, oh, he's celebrating and he's this. And we can say all of that. But again, did he say that? No, he didn't say all of that. right? Uh, you said case closed. You said it. Wrong timing. Uh, I don't think you understand about the commentary that I'm sharing here. Um, maybe you didn't hear me. In my initial live stream, when we all originally heard, or not heard, but read Trump's post in regards to Rob Reiner, the post, without doing research about Rob Reiner, does come across as inappropriate because the man was murdered with his wife. And condolences to Rob Reiner's family. You know, I was more or less expecting Trump to say something along those lines. At the same time, if you go and do your research, it's like nobody don't want to do that. Nobody wants to go do their research about what Rob Reiner had to say about Trump. If you do that, you will understand why Trump feel the way he feel. Um, what did he said? Are you building another studio? No, I have three of them. I have three studios. I, I don't know if everybody's watching my videos because I just did a video in my studio. Like, you know, I have three studios. But yeah. You says I'm leaving here and checking some of this out. I don't know what you mean. You said keep talking, were research. I don't know. You got to check your grammar, pal. Didn't Trump roast the guy after he was brutally murdered along with his wife in a Twitter post? I think you're kind of late to the party. We talked about all of that in a live stream yesterday, and we also talked about it earlier. You must have just swiped into the show. Uh, we don't all hate Trump. I love Trump. Well, I don't hate Trump either, right? I actually always speak of Trump. A lot of times I share my commentary, and people are upset with me because for some reason, and this is interesting, as a black man, a lot of black people feel that because I'm a black man, I'm not supposed to support Trump in any sort of way. They say that I'm a traitor, which is crazy. I just don't get that mindset. It's like, where where in the black community did it say that if you support Trump or if you are pro Trump in any sort of way, that you are a traitor to the black community? I don't get that because last time I checked, the black community condemns me every single day just for my views. It's really sick to assume these negative things about people because of their, uh, I guess, political affiliations or their beliefs or whether they're religious beliefs. It's like people judge you regardless. It's sick, you know. Um, let me see what we got. Um, you said he did offer his condolence. He did offer his condolence, and the said he had TSD. That is Trump. You said Trump sold out. Whatever you get, the grams point, dude. Because I need to know what, I don't know what's going on here, guys. I'm actually looking for some comments that actually is making sense. Most of the Trump haters have no idea who he was. Just another excuse to bash Trump. Excellent comment. And that's the point that I'm trying to bring out. But a lot of times when we do these live streams, a lot of people, they don't want to do the research. They don't want to look up. Actually, when I did my last stream, I had a lot of people that came into the comments and it was like, look, Ringo, you need to look up Rob Reiner. You need to look up the things that he really said about Trump, because again, in my last stream, I was in agreement with everybody. I was like, oh no, Trump, you dropped the ball in this one. This one ain't right. And you know, again, personally, I felt that he shouldn't have just never said nothing. At the same time, he never liked the guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't agree. He said it in that news brief. We heard him say it. He said he didn't agree with him. So um, if I don't agree with a person, nobody could tell me I can't say what I feel because you don't know what that person did to me. So they didn't show me no mercy at all. So why am I showing them mercy all of a sudden? That's the context of what we have to look at here. You know, despite all the morals and values you might have, uh, Trump believe he's right, and there's nothing that you can do about that. Let me see. You said put the shoe on the other foot. Let me see. You said black and white Americans fought for this country. We need to stick together or fall. You know, sometimes people post comments that sounds nice. At the same time, when you look at America and you look at how people think and how people don't get along with one another and hate one another, that's wishful thinking. All right. Let me see. Somebody says, "Are you serious, dude? Look at how Trump called nasty names, Sleepy Joe, low IQ, whatever." I mean, could we do an inventory of all the things you call people so we can compare notes and see what, like what you had to say about others? Or is this just a Trump uh, bashing session? Because, I mean, I don't know what it is with people, man. It's like everything is Trump, 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 Trump. Trump is just a horrible person. Well, what about you? What have you said about people lately? You know? Wh- How do you feel about others? Have you said bad things about people? And again, I'm not making no excuses for what Trump said about Rob Reiner. I agree with the majority of all the people. I felt that it was inappropriate at that time. At the same time, what could I do about the problem? Is the prop is what all right. What Trump said about Rob Reiner, is that affecting my life personally? Is it affecting me personally? Is it affecting my family? Is it ruining my life right now? No, it's not. Right? We all agree it was inappropriate, but let's stop bashing and dragging this thing like it's out of control now. I get it. If you're a Trump hater, you're gonna drag this thing till kingdom come. But if you're just a regular working class citizen, an American, and you're still dragging this mess, you just have selective outrage at this point. You know, that's pretty much it. Um, let's see what we got. I remember correctly, Biden said some racial things as well back in the day. Everybody say things that people are going to disagree with. But people keep dragging this situation as if though it's the worst thing ever. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe what Trump said. Oh man, this is just outrageous. Oh my goodness, man. This man, what? No, it ain't as crazy as everybody's making it out to be. It's his opinion. It is what it is. Rob Reiner didn't agree with Trump. If it was the other way around, I can guarantee you Rob Reiner would have something to say about Trump. If it was Trump that had an issue, Rob Reiner would have something to say. It's just that simple. Um, what you said? Somebody says, where your MAGA hat at? You want me to put on my MAGA hat? Are you a supporter of making America great again? That's the question I have for you. Are you in support of MAGA? Are you a supporter of making America great again? Or you just want to be entertained by a hat? Which one? I don't walk around with a hat on all day. But if you want to know, my hat is sitting right over there on that chair. Let me see. You said I'll put mine on. Normally, when I have on the hat, I get more trolls, and the comments be filled with a bunch of people that they just start losing their minds, like literally. Let me see. What is this thing here? I never even checked this thing. Oh, it has a camera? I didn't even check. Let me see this. Give me a minute. Let me press this button, see what happened. Hey, I'm off camera. I never even knew that, guys. You said when Trump keeps going unchecked, uh, he was never great, sir. What? He was never great, sir, but I get it. Peace. What's the point of you coming in here asking me about a MAGA hat? Let me get you upset. Give me a minute. Let me get you upset since you wanna come in here with the nonsense. Let me go get this hat so you can get mad and we can get people upset. So let me do this. Give me a minute, guys. I think that's better. So now, let's get the trolls to come in now. How do you feel now? You can't make me upset. This is all entertainment. Yes, entertainment for me too, because you're here. Because for some reason, you just like to hate. And that's the problem that I see. It's like no matter what the situation is, you have a negative energy, and I think that that's the main problem. Um, when are we going to get over this situation and move on so we can make America great again, rather than focusing on negativity? Because again, you have a lot of Republicans that that support Trump, that shared their opinions in regards to um, what he said about Rob Reiner. A lot of people shared their opinions. He got some backlash, which shows that it's not an echo chamber. Uh, we're Americans, and we shared our thoughts. At the same time, I did my research. I looked up Rob Reiner. I looked up, his political views. I saw what he had to say about Trump, and it wasn't nice. It wasn't good. It was not nice what he said. So I understand why Trump feel the way he feel. It is what it is. Um, Let me see. Focus on pulling away from your identity, politics. Anybody ever hear of the long tantrums that Rob said about Trump? Trump just defending himself even after his death. And here's the thing, man. I should have had all the tapes prepared. That's what I should have had. But again, I'll do that in another stream where I'll pretty much react to Rob Reiner. And we'll look at Rob Reiner's comments about Trump, hear what he had to say. And then we'll look at what Trump had to say about Reiner. And you compare notes. You compare the notes and see for yourself. Again, their situation is personal. That's between them two guys. You know what I mean? If you had an issue with a man, and that's between you and him, I can't get in the middle of your spat with this person and be like, well, what you said about that person is inappropriate without knowing the facts of why you felt that way. Like, what did he say about you that gave you, that brought you to the conclusion to just say what you said? You know? He was murdered, man. Don't defend his BS. See, again, at below 1685. If you watch my live stream yesterday, nobody was defending what Trump said about Rob Reiner. I think you're being too emotional. It's time to be more masculine and be logical, right? Rob Reiner, he's not here no more, right? I didn't murder him. His own son did. Trump did not murder Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner had a lot of negative things to say about Trump. If you didn't do your research to look that up, sir, then you shouldn't even be in the conversation. What Trump said about Rob Reiner is Trump's opinion based on all of the negative things that Reiner said about him. Whether we feel it's inappropriate or appropriate, it's none of our business. That's his personal issues with that man. Just like if you have a personal issue with a man, that's between you and that man. I cannot come in and say, well, why you didn't share your condolences or why you didn't do this. I agreed with the majority of Americans that the timing wasn't right. If you go watch my previous video, most people were probably shocked. It was like, wow, you didn't defend Trump? You didn't jump on his bandwagon? No, it's not an echo chamber. I'm an American and I have my opinions and my views. And based on the circumstances, I felt it was inappropriate because I'm looking at it. Now, watch me. I'm looking at the situation with Rob Reiner based on the fact that in my childhood, I watched his show. Do you understand me? So I'm looking at it like, wow, I can't believe Trump said that about uh, a sitcom actor, director that we all grew up on. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Why would he say that about the man? You know, I'm like, something must have happened. And then people were coming in the comments and they were telling me, they was like, look, you need to go do your research. You need to look up what Ron Reiner said. You need to look it up. And I went and I looked it up. And when I did, I understand why Trump said what he said. It is what it is, man. It's crazy, man. But anyway, guys, I love this wonderful comment right here. Check this one out here from Michael. Michael, you're an interesting character. I love your comment. Let's see what Michael said. Give me a minute, guys. Give me a minute. Because I love Michael's comment, guys. Give me a minute, guys. Got to transform a little bit. Da 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 da. Right? Okay. Let's see what we got. Michael said, I like your China-made MAGA hat. Okay. MAGA hat. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. You see that? China-made MAGA hat? Nah, I don't think so. Feels stupid, right? You see that? 100% authentic. Do you see that? Made in USA. I know you feel stupid right now. Oh, I didn't have my microphone on. My apologies, guys. My apologies. I didn't have my microphone, so I may have to repeat that. Give me a minute, guys. So, as you can see, made in America. Isn't that wonderful? Made in America. 100%. But yet you have people that's always doubting somebody. Now it's amazing to me that you're going to tell me that I'm wearing a China-made Make America Great Again hat when I'm wearing a moose knuckle hat, a moose knuckle designer coat, and you're insulting me about this hat? You're really going to insult me like that? Wow. I tell you, man, this is why we have so many problems in America. People are literally trying to insult you with a hat. In other words, you can't afford to buy an authentic hat, but you don't even support Trump. You don't even support Trump. You don't even support America. That's crazy, man. That is absolute. And you know, the person probably going to disappear and run and hide somewhere. Where Michael at? Michael left, right? Where Michael at? I don't even see Michael. Michael disappeared. Says no, the tag was also made in China. Man, stop it. I mean, it's like no matter what you show these people, they still uh posting dumb comments, man. I tell you, bro. Like it don't make no sense whatsoever. Um, let me see. Yeah, so Trump Trump is going to be Trump, guys. Um, I just don't like the selective outrage of the majority of people. on how they just keep talking about the same topic over and over, dragging Trump rather than focusing on both parties. I don't see none of these commentators showing you highlights of Rob Reiner insulting, disparaging Trump, calling him names. I don't see nobody doing that. You know, I don't see that. So it is what it is, man. I'm pretty much wrap up the show. Appreciate everybody coming through. Whether you agree or disagree, I still appreciate your time. And shout out to all the truckers on the road, everybody out there doing what they got to do. Be safe out there on the roads as you drive. Um, yeah. So, and another thing, guys, this is a new setup. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to produce, higher quality content with good quality audio, because audio is very, very important when it comes to social media. Your audio got to be on point. So I'm hoping that the quality is better than the way I had it before. But yeah, let me see. 11 months ago, things were calmer. T is a bad example to our children. I don't understand why would he be a bad example to our children. Our children should pretty much be guided by us as parents. So I don't think that we're the ones that's supposed to be examples to our children, not Trump. You know what I'm saying? Trump is a president. He's here to do his job, but primarily we're the parents. So, I have 4 daughters, and my job is to do what I got to do to make sure that they good to the best of my abilities. I'm not perfect. At the same time, I learn new things, and I feel that my life is or should be a reflection of how they are due to how they see me live. They should follow in that's those steps. um you said you look cold. uh I tell you, man, these comments are weird, bro. He says I'm stuck in wetlands, can't finish. Let's see what we got. Can you help me play World of... I don't play that. You says, why do you have a coat? You have to spell coat correctly. Grammar's poor. Why do you have a coat and beanie on? Why you don't have a coat and a beanie? You don't even have one. It's a dumb question, to be honest with you. You're more worried about my coat when you don't even have a coat. What does that do for you? Should I be naked in front of the camera? Would that make you feel better? Would you like me to strip? Are you into men? Like, what's the obsession with what a man wears to you? I'm just trying to figure this out. Would you rather me to be in my underwear? Would that be more pleasing to you as a viewer? I don't know. Let's see what we got. So, um, do you have what? Do you go to the army? I don't know what he's talking about. Let's see. He said, I just got here. You are handsome. Hey, hun. Appreciate the compliment. If you're new to the platform, guys, consider subscribing to the channel, and also double tap the screen to give it a thumbs up. I don't know if you can hype live streams. I don't know if you could do that, but if you can, consider doing that. That helps with the platform. Let me see. Just wondering. Just want to know what your platform stands for. Well, you can go watch my channel introduction. I do a lot of commentary, criticism about a lot of various topics, crime stories, news reporting. We talk about biblical topics, how-to videos, relationships. We give advice, a lot of advice about everyday issues that people go through in terms of you know, cultivating their solitude, their peace, relationship advice in terms of dating, marriage. We speak on the injustices of people and we offer solutions. Um, I share my experiences as a man and offer real world advice that actually works if people apply the work and do what they necessarily need to do. I'm a music producer, so I produce music, um, songwriter, jack of all trades, carpenter, musician, editor, videographer, photographer, pretty much do everything. Watch my channel introduction. You'll learn a lot about what I do. I'm originally from New York, moved to North Carolina, been out here for about a year and a half now. Liking it more out here. New York is, it's great in New York, don't get me wrong. At the same time, I wanted to have a little more peace and quiet, a little more peace and quiet. And, there's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I decided to come on out to North Carolina. But all in all, I'm into a lot of movie production. You're going to be seeing that soon. A lot of filming we're going to be doing. I actually have 3 studios in the house. Uh, you could say this is the portable studio because I could pretty much go anywhere in the house with this particular studio that I have here. But I have one back here, one upstairs, and we're about to get it cracking with a lot of content, a lot of stuff we're going to be putting out. And yeah, I believe in the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Um, I'm biblically knowledgeable, and I teach on a lot of subjects that I believe can help people. I believe in respecting one another. I believe in human beings learning how to cooperate with the system in terms of being kind, but not weak, if that makes sense. Don't let no one take advantage of your kindness. Be fair, respectful of others, and I think that if everybody had that mindset, the world would be a better place. Um, if you're new to the platform and you have video ideas or suggestions of things you would like me to talk about, because I talk about a lot of topics, a lot of engaging topics that really help people. Um, I'm learning every day how to be a better content creator with the feedback from the people. You know what I mean? Like if you like my work and you feel I'm doing a good job, let me know. If you think it sucks, then let me know. You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of negative criticism. I get a lot of hate, but also I have a lot of people that support me and they share positive feedback about things that I do. Um, like this, for example, this setup here. I have new microphones. I have a lot of technology stuff in front of me, and I try to do my videos more to make them a little more entertaining, more engaging, and have higher quality sound. Because a lot of times when people listen to social media folks, their audio sucks. The visuals is poor, and they complain about those things. So I try to improve everything. Um, I really enjoy what I do in terms of commentary, speaking on different issues. I like entertaining my viewers. I have a comedy side of me. From time to time, I do little skits. Um, I'm a very uh, creative, creative spirit, and I like to innovate and always develop new ideas to produce content. So there's a lot. There's a lot to learn. You would have to get to know me in terms of looking through the platform and finding out what's going on. You said, who is Rob? He's a legendary actor and director. You know what I'm saying? Having a show called All in the Family. In the 70s, had a lot of different shows. That show birthed a lot of other, uh, I guess, shows, including, I believe, even the Jeffersons. A lot of different shows have been developed due to that show, and it was one of them shows that we were raised on as kids. So in that regard, we all uh, are sad to hear about his passing. I mean, so we're not taking away from his work. It's just that his political views, him and Trump had some sort of personal disagreement. I'm not involved in that, but I do share my thoughts about it. Um, so again, guys, um, if you like the commentary, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you stopping by, choosing Ringo TV Reactions when you could be choosing any other platform to actually view. And I don't take that for granted because, without the people, I don't have a platform. So I try my best to be respectful. From time to time, I get trolls. I may have my criticism about the trolls. At the same time, I do appreciate people showing up to the shows because this is what I love to do. And a lot of the viewers that are new, that are discovering my platform, it might be a new experience for you. So just take a look around the platform. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can do so at Ringo TV Raw on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw. And if you have any video ideas or something you're going through and you would like me to talk about it through a video, hit me up, send me a message, and let me know what's going on, you know, and tell a friend about the platform. So hopefully you guys may tune in again. I know this is the YouTube Shorts algorithm, and a lot of you guys, yeah, I just be swiping, swiping, swiping all day. So I know that some of you might come in and then you just leave right away. So it's like a pond where hopefully somebody come by and they want to subscribe and continue to watch the long form content. I'm a long form content creator. I will be getting into doing a lot more YouTube shorts once I start filming a reality show that I will be doing. I'm going to be working on that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. I have a lot of things that I have to do, a lot of responsibilities behind the scenes, which is a little time consuming. I know a lot of you are at 9 to 5, so obviously you can't catch all the videos, but hopefully when you have time and your leisure, you can, tune in and probably get some laughs, some entertainment, some knowledge. I recently uploaded a video uh, the other day, so you may want to check that out. I think it was yesterday. I uploaded a video, and it really speaks to a lot of situations people go through. There's 3 sections on YouTube, actually 4. Well, actually 5. You got playlists, you have community posts, you have videos, you have live streams, and you have shorts. So you would have to check all of those sections where you can find more of my content. Let me see. You said you watched. Let me see. I watched you. I guess you in 2006. Really? Wow, that's amazing. In 2006 is when I registered to YouTube. I had a channel called Ringo for Life. Ringo for Life was my channel, and I was exposing false prophets, false teachers, um, a lot of these pulpit pimps, as you would call them in today's day. And yeah, those was the best days on YouTube. Those were the beginning days, and we had a lot of fun. I met a lot of people, had a lot of wars, a lot of debates, but yeah. Somebody says you said you checked on what Rob Reiner said about Trump. Have you checked on what Trump said about your race, black man? See, I'm not a racist like you. That's the problem. You're saying, have you checked on what Trump said about your race? I don't have a race that I own, and I don't care about none of that race stuff like you. I'm not invested in that type of stuff. That's the difference between me and you. I'm an American, and as an American, I don't have time for all of that. That stuff brings me no peace. I'm not arguing about stuff I have no control over. I don't care about what someone said about the black race. I don't care. It doesn't pay bills. It doesn't move me. I don't care about that. When you focus your time and your energy on a bunch of negative stuff like that all day, it destroys you. You understand? So I'm not going to be swayed by your rhetoric about what you feel about Trump. If you're a Trump hater, be a Trump hater. I don't really care. Right? Okay. Um, let's see what we got. This man stands in a place of authority, and that type of influence shouldn't be thrown across the airwaves as a person of influence, in my opinion. Are you referring to Trump and what he had to say about Rob Reiner? Uh, well, again, if you watch the live stream from the beginning, we agree that his original post, in my opinion, was inappropriate due to the time and the circumstances. Because just like Charlie Kirk, when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, people were saying a lot of negative things and they were losing their jobs and they were getting held accountable. So it would be good and kind to exercise you know, the same restraint of negativity, you know, even if you have a personal issue with somebody. I mean, if I'm beefing with somebody and I have a negative, you know, view of someone and they suddenly pass away or they were murdered, I'm not going to come on YouTube and say, ha ha ha, they were murdered, I'm so happy. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to look at it and be like, that's messed up what happened to them. You know, that's messed up. But I'm not going to come on YouTube and make fun of them, But we can all agree that what was said wasn't necessarily appropriate, but that's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion just like you are. Just like many of you that might say negative things about Trump, why is it okay for you to say negative things about Trump? You don't just because he's in a leadership position doesn't mean he don't have the right to say what he want to say. You're not in a leadership position, but you get to say negative things too. Come on, man. We can't be biased like that, guys. A lot of you say negative things about Trump every single day. You curse him out, you insult him, you insult everything about him, and it's okay for you to do that. But if he says something back at you, it's a problem. Come on, man. I don't like when people do that. Americans deserve every job and resource this country has, not to be undercut by illegals. Just because, come on, dude. Why do you feel that way? Feel that way about what? We've been talking now for over an hour and change. I think that if you watch the video from the beginning, you would have context on what the video is about. If you just swiped in and heard me speaking for 5 seconds and you concluded that you understand everything about me and how I feel, that's the wrong way of thinking. You got to really get to know a person and study the whole video. That's like walking into a movie theater at the 2 hour mark and giving your opinion of the film. That don't make no sense. You just walked in the theater. The movie been on for 2 hours. It's gonna finish in 20 minutes, and you already gave an opinion about the film. That don't make no sense. Okay, so we're gonna pretty much get up on out of here, guys, and do what we need to do. I gotta make some content and do what I gotta do. So that's about it, guys. I'm gonna get up on out of here. Appreciate everybody joining the show again. Um, you know, uh, we'll be back on in the morning time. I'm gonna upload some videos and do what I need to do. So yeah, we're gonna get up on out of here, guys. I hope the background music is not too loud. I guess if I'll find out on the replay. I don't like to wear headphones, but only when I'm in the studio I wear my headphones. But when I'm downstairs or whatever the case is, I like to just be free. But yeah. So it is what it is, guys. We'll get up on out of here. Y'all take care. It is what it is. Again, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also consider double tapping the screen to give it a thumbs up. Hype the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next live stream. So y'all have a blessed one. Again, if you're on the road driving, drive safe. Shout out to all my truckers on the road. Make sure you get your rest. Go to the rest stop. Even if you're just driving around in your car, if you feel tired, man, go to that rest stop. Go to the rest stop and take a break, because you don't want to be driving with your eyes closed. Trust me, it happens to the best of us. So y'all have a blessed day. blessed weekend. Well, not weekend. Where's my laughter tracks? I put laughter tracks on here, guys. Believe it or not. Let me see. I don't know. Is this it? I don't know if this is the laughter track. Let me see. Yeah. I got laughter tracks. I got all sorts of stuff, guys. It's funny as heck, man. So yeah. So I'm gonna be doing more shows with this setup. It's fun, it's entertainment, and it's cool. But yeah, whether you agree or disagree, guys, have a blessed day. Go in peace. If you like my content, subscribe. If you don't like it, let me know that you don't like it, and ways to improve. It is what it is. So y'all take care. Catch you in the next video. I'm out.